Hello guys, welcome to the channel, Bob here, and as you can see we're back in Lord of the Rings Online, where we're trying to follow in the footsteps of the Fellowship as accurately as we can. As you can see, we're at the end of the last video, we reached the last bridge now. I think it's been about 5 or 6 videos so far, so please go back and have a look at those if you haven't seen them. And the first point I want to make is that in the book, Tolkien states that the bridge has got 3 arches, and indeed the bridge has got 3 arches. There we go. Obviously Josephine of Breeland probably wasn't fishing at the time, I can't imagine, but that's fine. That's no problem. Let's run up here. Now we're just about to enter the Troll Shores, and this should be quite a good one, this one. I think it'll be quite good, because we'll be visiting a couple of things that are quite sort of definitely quite prominent in the book, and I guess particularly the Hobbit as well. So let's head on. So yeah, so after the bridge, the book states. I'm just going to bring up the map. After the bridge, the book states that they for about an hour, I think it says for about a mile, they travel along the road, and then they leave the road to the north. I think by this point, from reading back from the book, I think they're getting a bit desperate at this point. They've been out from Weathertop now for quite some time. I think it's a couple of weeks maybe, if not getting pretty close to that. And I think things are getting desperate. Frodo's not particularly well after the attack at Weathertop. So yeah, getting a bit desperate. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the road about here. The book says Aragorn decides to leave the road after about a mile or so. I think it's a mile or so, maybe an hour or so. But we're going to leave the book here. We're going to leave the road here. And let's have a look around this way. They kind of head in what they're trying to do. If you look at the map, they're trying to cut off part of the road. So they leave the road here and they sort of come back to it a bit further over. But yeah, they're trying to leave the road for a time here and get lost in the wilderness again. So they kind of head northish, but then I think Aragorn essentially starts to turn sort of northeastish and eastish after a period of time. And it's quite accurate, this bit, because when they leave the road, the book does say that they see sort of just ruins of old buildings, really, old walls and old forts and stuff up above them on the hilltops there. So yeah, it's pretty accurate. I think also that I think one of the hobbits asked Aragorn if there's any trolls here, and he says not in this particular part, and he does mention something about men used to live here, but I think they may have fallen into evil ways or something bad happened, and they don't live here anymore. Yeah, so we're going to head north around this bit. Let's have a look. Okay, so the game calls this location Ostdurgen, and we're just going to come around here. Now I love the Troll Shores as a level. I think it's really good. A lot of the levels in the game I think can be quite flat and uninteresting, but the Troll Shores feels quite natural actually. There's lots of hills and little dells and things to go up and down. I think they did quite a good job of it. Lovely colours as well here. The trees, some lovely trees, very autumnal looking colours, which is quite apt for time of year. It's pouring rain outside my door at the moment, so I'd much rather be in the Troll Shores. Now anyone who's familiar with the book and who's familiar with the Hobbit will know what's coming up. Now where the hell am I? Let's have a look. I think I probably need to carry on going more north. I don't think the book refers to the party actually sort of getting to a point where they're I think I need to be down there actually, heading north. The book doesn't mention they get to a point where they're... Oh, hurt my legs. I'm a burglar. I don't know why I didn't say fall there, but in keeping with the book maybe. Yeah, but it didn't mention that they do go up to the points where the ruins are. So we'll have to look around here. So yeah, so we're hopefully following the correct journey. And as I was saying, anyone who's familiar with Lord of the Rings, and particularly the Hobbit, will know what's coming up. Now here are some big troll chaps. I don't think they're going to cause us any problems. They're level 41, so about 11 levels behind. Talking of the Hobbit, anyone's got any opinions on what they think of the films, please put them in the comments section. I'm 50-50 at the moment myself. I think mostly because of Return of the King. I might have mentioned it before, but let's have a quick look at the map. But Return of the King seems to be the most popular film, and I could never understand why. Even if you weren't into the books, you know, I thought the CGI was pretty naff. You know, some of the characterisations I didn't like, some of the things they did with Legolas and Gimli, but that kind of started in the Two Towers film, really. Yeah, so I wasn't a big fan. I mean, I love the Fellowship of the Ring. I think it's stuck pretty well to the book. I think they did a good job of that. But yeah, as the films went on, I think they got poorer and poorer, and that's why I don't hold out much hope for The Hobbit. I'll go and see it, and I'm sure some of it I'll love, but I haven't been too impressed by the trailers so far. I think part of the problem is the fact that you seem to get things that are just changed for the sake of it. I mean, from looking at the let's just check the map and make sure we're going roughly the right way. We're going to start heading east here, so let's see how we get on. But the trailers for me try to give an indication that Galadriel and Gandalf and all the wise people kind of, you know, they chose Bilbo specifically for a reason, you know, almost as though they knew he was going to find the ring, or some big fate was going to sort of, you know, befall him. And from reading The Hobbit many times, I never kind of got that impression from the book at all, really. I think, I mean, you know, to be honest with you, I mean, I've read quite a lot of stuff about Tolkien's works, and I've read The Hobbit many times, but I mean, I've got no idea why Gandalf chose Bilbo to go with the dwarves. I mean, I'm guessing he wanted to write a story about a hobbit going on an adventure, so that's sort of how it worked out. But the feeling of the trailer of the films, you know, seems to give the impression that Gandalf and all the wise people kind of, you know, they know what's going to happen. You know, we've done it for a reason. And then there's a section where I think Thorin says to Gandalf, "I can't be responsible for his fate." Well, it's all a bit dramatic. What fate? You know, you've got no idea really what's going to happen, I'm not happy about that sort of stuff. I'm not happy about Stephen Fry being in it. I think when you start picking people, actors or celebrities to be in it just because people have recognised their face, you know, I'm sort of I feel that's a bit cynical. The other cynical thing I've noticed as well is that from the dwarves' perspective, some of the more well-known actors who are playing dwarves don't seem to be wearing much makeup, whereas the lesser-known actors, maybe some of the Australian ones and the New Zealand actors, you know, they're proper make-up dwarves. And again, that feels a bit cynical to me. You know, it's almost like they're keeping the faces of the well-known actors as clear as possible so people recognise them, and it just feels, as I said, it just feels cynical. So yeah, I'm not sure how you guys feel, but I personally, I know a lot of people do, but I personally don't think Jackson is the right person, or ever was the right person. Kind of started off okay in the Fellowship, but I think things went downhill gradually from there. Yeah, and I'm just have a bit less faith now. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, look at this. Woohoo! Well done, Turbine. We've reached the troll sort of the troll lair. If you remember from The Hobbit, the dwarves and Bilbo get captured by some trolls. And in the book, this is the lair of the trolls that Aragorn and the hobbits go past. I think in the book you can actually get in the lair and have a look round, but we don't seem to be able to do that here. But that's quite good to find that. That's quite nice that that's there. So that's pretty accurate, and we'll trot on a bit more. Yeah, as I was saying, I'd be interested to hear what you guys think about The Hobbit. Well, when I sort of record YouTube videos, I mostly just play games. I don't often give my opinion on stuff because I think it can be a bit dangerous giving your opinion on YouTube about something, because you know, generally people are some people are just not going to like it. So yeah, I try to avoid it, but I feel quite strongly about the adaptations, the film adaptations. So yeah, so I'm interested in what you guys think, even if you think I'm wrong. Now here's the Stone Trolls Glade. Woohoo! Again. Another great bit, very accurate to the books. These are the 3 trolls that Gandalf turned to stone. If you remember in The Hobbit, he kind of tricks them into staying up. He tricks them into arguing amongst each other until the sun comes up, and obviously if trolls are outside, when the sun comes up, they turn to stone. And here we go. I think in the book it mentions that they found a bird's nest in one of the. I don't know if it was in sort of. I don't know where it was on one of the trolls, but oh, there we go. That might be up there. Yeah, on the shoulder of one of the trolls, they said it's a bird's nest. So there you go. Well done. Props to Turbine again. Good job. Very accurate. And this is a lovely area as well. Look at the colours there. Colours of the leaves. Awesome. Okay, let's move on. I think we probably don't. You know, I think this video has been so good. So I say the video's been so good. Sorry, that's I didn't quite mean that. What I meant is that the journey's been so good at the moment from an accuracy point of view. That's pretty cool. But we are going to carry on because there is a point where Aragorn essentially leads them back to the road, and it's just after they. What would be the best way for me to go? Probably not that way. Let's go this way. Yeah, they do go back to the road pretty much just after they come across the trolls. So that's what we'll do as well. Just ignore all these things. I'm sure they came across the odd deer, but I can't imagine they came across any bats out in the open or wolves and stuff. So yeah, just ignore those. And obviously, when they get back to the road, things become a lot more dangerous. And this, from pretty much from Bree to Rivendell, it's one of my favourite parts of the whole Lord of the Rings book. I love the way the relationship builds up between Aragorn and the hobbits, to a point where they all sort of become obviously really fond of each other. I love that in the book. I mean, that's really well described. And you get a real feeling for the friendship that develops between them. I'm hoping we're going to find a bit of road again soon. There we go. Looks like there's a road over there. Let's cut it off at the pass here. Yeah, so they get back to the road, and on they go. I think at this point, sort of Frodo's riding along on Bill, and things are not so good. And obviously we get to a point soon where they come across. I think the book says they're about to camp for the evening by the side of the road. Lovely colours again. Look at that. Really autumnal. Yeah, they're about to camp by the side of the road, and they hear horses' footsteps, and they go and hide. And of course, it turns out to be Glorfindel. Or if you're only familiar with the cartoon adaptation, it's Legolas. And if you're only familiar with the Peter Jackson's adaptations, then it's Arwen. But in the books, as is right and proper, it should be Glorfindel, who's a pretty powerful elf from Elrond's from Rivendell, and he sort of escorts them kind of most of the way. Where are we? And I think what we'll do here is we'll jump on our own horse, because Glorfindel puts Frodo on Asfaloth, which is his horse, and I think they get along on the road quite well. Actually, I think they get quite close to the ford, but then the Dark Riders come, and Glorfindel, basically says to Asfaloth, "Get the hell out of here! Get Frodo." Get Frodo on the move, get him away from the Dark Riders, and that's what Asfaloth does. I love it. Look at this. I love this here. Look, little leaves fallen on the floor there. I love the fact that the Troll Shores is in perpetual autumn. It's always autumn in the Troll Shores, which is really nice. Yeah. So Asfaloth runs off with Frodo towards the ford, which we're about to come. Ford of Bruinen, which we're about to come to. Obviously, if you're only familiar with the films, Arwen runs off with Frodo. I think the horse is still called Asfaloth, I think, possibly. Yeah, so she runs off to the ford with Frodo. But in the book, Frodo goes by himself. And here we go. Woohoo! Here is the ford. Nice music here as well, really good. I can spend ages in the Troll Shores just running around. I love the area, it's really good. And here we go. Here we are at the ford. ford of Bruinen. That's how I'm pronouncing it anyway. I'm not sure if that's the correct pronunciation. I think it's pretty close, probably. the only other pronunciation I can think of is maybe Bruinen, but I'm going for Bruinen. And I think what happens is Frodo gets to the... I'm pretty positive he gets to the other side. So he's on one side and the Dark Riders are on the other. He tries to be a bit defiant and tell them to go back. But I think the Witch King kind of puts some sort of spell on him and he falls off the horse. And then they start walking into the water to get across to capture Frodo. In the film, Arwen uses some magic to drain all the water up to the end, and then send it kind of crashing back. I think in the film they represent the white horses as the waves come crashing down, and obviously the waves sweep away the Black Riders. Now in the book, I think Elrond raises the river and sends the water crashing along to sweep the Black Riders away. And I think it's Gandalf that puts the oh, hello there, fella. And I think it's Gandalf that puts the just adds the little adds the white horses to the waves as they come crashing down and sweep the Black Riders away. I think he said he thought it was quite a nice touch. And then and essentially after that you don't really hear much of the rest of the journey. I think the elves come and pick up Frodo and take him back to Rivendell, where he's cured, well, sort of, mostly cured by Elrond. Now let's have a look. It's quite a fair old trot to Rivendell, but I'll do some of the journey. I mean, this part of it isn't. This part of the journey isn't sort of mentioned in the book, so got no idea how accurate it was. But this has been quite a good video, this one, I think, from an accuracy point of view. We've come across the Trolls Lair, we've bumped into the Trolls, we've reached the ford, and as you would expect... Oh, where the hell am I going? I think I got lost on my way to Rivendell there. Oh, there we go, up there. Yeah, we've come across the ford, and now we're just off to Rivendell. Oh, the old computer had a bit of a moment there. God knows why. I spend enough bloody money on the thing. Yeah, up there, and then I think we go left again up there. Yeah, so as you can see, there's a little look down onto the Troll Shores from up above. It's a great level, and I keep mentioning it, but lovely colours there. Yeah, so while we're doing this journey, if we just go back to the the Hobbit film, so I'd be very interested to hear what you guys think. I mean, I've probably been quite negative, actually. I guess you might say, but I'm a big fan of the first film, and I thought the Two Towers. I mean, the Two Towers, I think generally most people accept is the most difficult to read of the three books. A lot of it's taken up by a big battle, and there's a lot of travelling in that one. Yeah, so but even quite like the Two Towers, I mean, I didn't like what they did with Gimli's character. I thought that was an absolute travesty. But I think for the most part it worked okay. For Return of the King, I think it had a lot more. There was a lot more wrong with the film, I think, than the other two. Quite a lot of the story was changed. Particularly, I think it was the Return of the King where Elrond turns up with the sword, the reforged sword, and all that sort of malarkey. The way Legolas is sort of portrayed as a bit of a boy band member, really. But not only that, some sort of like superhuman fighter, which I just think was ridiculous. I mean, the whole fight with the Mummak was just nonsense. Didn't even look very good, I don't think, from a CGI point of view. So yeah, I was quite disappointed with all of that. Yeah, as you can tell, it wasn't a good one for me. But as I said, I mean, I'll go and watch. I'll go and watch the Hobbit when it comes out. It's a bit of a tradition actually, because when the Lord of the Rings films came out, my wife knows that I'm obviously really into it, and it's near my birthday as well. My birthday's in December, so when I went to see those three films, they were kind of like birthday treats, if you like, and maybe the Hobbit will be the same. Maybe we'll all go for my birthday or whatever. Now I think we're about to come round to the to the Valley of Rivendell. This section is called the High Moor. Oh, here we go, the Gates of Imladris, which is the Elven for Rivendell, I think. And here we are. Let's see if we can get down close enough so we can have a look at Rivendell. Or the last homely house, I believe it's known as. It's a bit of a journey, actually. It's right down in the valley there, and there's quite a lot of these twisting and turning pathways on the way down. Oh, the computer's having a bit of a frame rate wobble again. As I said, I don't know bloody hell why. Very dramatic music. And what I'll do is I'll get us close enough to Rivendell so you can have a look. And I guess the next video we'll probably start off in Rivendell. You know, we'll start off inside, probably in the rooms where Gandalf and the hobbits are. I think there's a room in there where Gandalf and the hobbits are. There we go. There's Rivendell, or Imladris. And again, this is a lovely area, as you can see. It's always autumn here, which I love. Now, of course, also what we've got coming up at some point soon for these videos, you've got the Breaking of the Fellowship, and I guess what I'll probably try and do is follow all of the Fellowship just in different videos, which will probably be quite fun. And obviously, the other thing I've got to do at some point is I've got to level up, because Percy, my character here, who I'm doing this with, he's my highest level character, and he hasn't gone through Moria yet. So yeah, we'll have to go through Moria as well. Maybe I'll make a series of that as I struggle my way through Moria, just so I can carry on doing the footsteps videos essentially. But here we go. We've reached Rivendell. Lovely looking, lovely colours, lovely area. Yep, just lovely. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this episode, and I'll be back in the future with some more following in the footsteps. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.